Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The deadline has come early. Super disappointed to have missed a lot of the trades earlier on this afternoon, but we will start getting them now. Going through, this is the first of the next 5 data casts that are going to be coming out in the next hour, as we're going to be breaking down the trades that happened this afternoon. Starting off with the one that happened most recently, Alex Wennberg being acquired by the New York Rangers from the Seattle Kraken in exchange for a 2024 second-round pick from the Kraken, from the Rangers, and a 2025 fourth round pick coming from the Dallas Stars. So yeah, definitely a lot more to happen this afternoon. Lots more trades to get through. But for right now, we're going to start with Alex Wennberg, acquired at 50% retained by the Rangers, still leaving them with a little bit of cap space as well to play around with, putting them in, giving them that third line center kind of guy, middle six stability, while also still having, we're going to see right here, they're still gonna have 2.91 million in cap space when you take into account all the LTIR and stuff like that. So the Rangers still have room to do more. If we look at the New York Rangers here on their cap-friendly page, refresh here, just get the Wennberg acquisition in here. The most recent trade going down this afternoon in the NHL. I don't think Wennberg is there yet. We'll start breaking down the trade that was and come back to this later on. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's break it down first. So Alex Wennberg acquired from the Seattle Kraken, former first-round pick in 2013. Blue Jackets, Panthers, now parts of 3 seasons with the Kraken. He's been a solid piece for the most recent expansion team in the league. 25 points in 60 games this season. But of course, I wouldn't say the majority of his value comes purely from point scoring. It comes from what he does around the puck as well. If we just go ahead and pull up the micro stats on him. Yeah, we're definitely have a lot to say on the Avalanche later on, Narf. We'll have a lot to say on the Avalanche today. A couple more data casts this afternoon for the Sean Walker and Casey Middlestat trades going down. The Henrique deal as well. We'll have data casts for each and every trade that happened this afternoon. This is the first of 5, so we're breaking it down right here. Too bad I was gone for most of them. Such is life when you're an adult, I guess, but we'll start breaking it all down. So Alex Wennberg, of course, he's not there for the even strength offense. When you look at the even strength defense, that is exactly what the Rangers are interested in. He's a two-way playmaking center who's been playing big matchup minutes in Seattle, but much more likely that he'll slide into a decent third-line center role for the Rangers, which would make a lot more sense for him and more sense for the Rangers. So it's very interesting to see the guy in 90th percentile. He's playing against very high levels of competition. He's getting first-line minutes, as we can see evidenced here by his ice time. He's used to playing, look at this, 23 even minutes per night. He's used to being a 15, 16, 17, even 18-minute guy. And this year he is averaging 18.49. When you look at the last few games, playing 21.18, 23.07, he's been playing some big minutes for the Kraken, potentially being showcased a little bit here. We'll have, over the next 5 streams, we'll see if even more trades happen, Juice. We'll see that. But that's what the Rangers are interested in. A guy who's able to move up in that lineup, able to eat those minutes if needed. 72nd percentile of even strength defense when you look at the last 3 years of weighted average data. So the defense has gone down, bounced back up a little bit. The offense has taken a nice turn upwards, and his overall worth, after taking a big dip last year in 22-23, has seen a nice recovery into 23-24. So a solid depth player here for the Rangers. If Rangers fans are thinking, what are we getting right here? Solid depth guy who, yes, look at the Reds and take those Reds with a grain of salt. He's not there to do the goal, to score the goal. To score the goals, to generate the in-zone shots, to have the shots off high-danger passes. That's not what he's doing. He is getting those in-zone shot assists. He is generating the primary assists, not at a ridiculous level, but at a level that, of course, as Landon says here, good point, a big upgrade over a guy like Barclay Goodrow here. So when you look at the even-strength defense, even the power play, but definitely even the penalties that he draws for what he does, don't look too much at the penalty kill and stuff like that. I don't think he'll get much penalty kill play time in New York, playing the biggest penalty kill minutes. I can't predict it, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily his strength. I think he's able to be a good 5-on-5 player who has shown that even strength ability. So that being said, Alex Wennberg having a solid year this year for Seattle, playing those big minutes with them. He's having a career year for ice time, I believe, right? Yeah, 18.49. Yes, he is the most he's ever seen. Now, when I look at the Rangers lineup, like we said, get Barclay Goodrow out of that spot, put Wennberg into third line center. And yeah, he has that good playmaking ability as well, Mila. That shouldn't be understated either. He's not, I wouldn't say he's a playmaker, but he can be a playmaking centerman. And Pony Kill line 2. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt there, as Golden says. It's Pony Kill unit number 2 on a bad Seattle team, right? So I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Now, the Rangers, what they give up, they have now no seconds in the next 3 years. So 2024 second, they still have all 3 of their firsts, but 2024 second is gone, as well as the 4th they had in what, the Niels Lundqvist trade? Yes. So the 4th they got from Dallas in 2025 also gone. So now in 2025, that's a little scary, I have to say. No seconds, no thirds, and no fourths for the Rangers in 2025. So in 2024, first, 4th, 5th, 6th. In 2025, first, 5th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then in 2026, only their second round pick is gone so far. I'm going to be ending the stream and making new streams each time, Landon, so it can be separate videos that people can review after the fact. So all that to say, the Rangers are definitely still in that all-in type of phase that they've been going through. The Patrick Kane pickup, the Vladimir Tarasenko pickup, the moves they made in recent history. You know, even if you go further back to I don't know, like the JT Miller trade. I'm thinking like even further back. The Rangers have been not in an all-in phase, but they've been in a contending phase for a little while now. So Barclay Goodrow no longer has to play at that spot in your lineup. That's great. I'm still not seeing Wennberg here in the Rangers lineup, but that's not a big deal. We can still understand that they have about 2.4 million in cap space left. They can still do more. They can absolutely still do more. Barclay Goodrow bumps down to 4th line center. There's a lot of value just in and of itself when you look at that. Not only do I get Wennberg to play 3rd line center, but I got to move Barclay Goodrow down to 4th line center. That's big right there. 1 goal in 60 games, -9, playing limited minutes. Let's move those minutes down even a little bit more, probably. Not to speak down on Barclay Goodrow, but for a 3rd line center on a contending team, you got to have someone like an Alex Wennberg, and that's exactly what the Rangers did, went out and acquired. So the Kraken, they are an interesting situation. For an expansion team, they don't have a ton of draft picks, so it's nice to say, okay, add in a 2nd in 2024, add in a 4th in 2025. That's good. That's a nice, solid move by the Seattle Kraken, and yes, he could slot up, of course. He could absolutely slot up. When I look at the other expiring deals in Seattle, would they want to move Jordan Eberle? I've heard that they don't, so I don't think Eberle moves, but you could see some other expiring guys go. Maybe a Justin Schultz. I don't know what exactly, but I think that was the main thing on the to-do list for the Kraken to get done, and they got it done. They received good value back. I think a 2nd and a 4th is a pretty solid return for a player like Alex Wennberg, who's playing a little over his head due to the minutes that he was logging in there, but there you go. So the cap friendly hasn't updated yet, but as we saw just a few moments ago, the Rangers will still have over 2 million to play with, which could be very useful, especially if you're talking about getting players at like 75% retained. So to still have 2.91 million, almost 3 million to play with, that could be very interesting. We're talking about players who are making even 6-7 million. The Rangers can even make a Jake Gensel type of deal work. Not that I'm going to start talking about that right now. Mila says I would have expected a bigger return. I think it's more, it might have to do with the rental. I think that's part of it as well. I think the Rangers have given up a lot for rentals in the past. I don't know if they want to give up more than a 2nd and a 4th for a rental now. Instead of a late first, give a 2nd and a 4th, a bit more of the quantity over quality. Maybe I could have seen a little squeeze more, but I think the value is pretty much at what it would have been. Yes, Juice, we will be doing separate podcast data casts for that. So there is the data cast for the Alex Wennberg trade, ladies and gentlemen. Not much more to say aside from I think it's a slam dunk in the win-win category. The Rangers get to move down Barclay Goodrow. They get a 3rd line centerman who has the ability to slot up the 2nd line center, someone who's at a recent high in terms of the value that he provides to the game. There's a condition. Interesting. I didn't say that there was a condition on the pick. Dice Andrew saying the condition on the 2025 4th in the Wennberg deal is that it becomes a 3rd if Lundqvist gets to 55 points this season. He's going to, okay, so that's not going to happen. So we can pretty much just say that it's a 4th. Interesting. So that's the Alex Wennberg deal. I think the Kraken get good value back for an expiring UFA. He was eating a lot of minutes, so we'll see what Seattle does with that. Does Shane Wright get promoted? I'm not sure. Yeah, that could definitely happen, Drax, though. So you could definitely see Gensel in some sort of three-team thing happening. Yes. So what I'm going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, and go ahead and end this stream. Thank you for joining me. Leave your thoughts on who you think won this trade down in the comments below. Subscribe for more breaking news analysis for the trades as they happen. I'm going to end the stream here, and I'll restart it within about 5 minutes, and we're going to move on to the next deal, which is going to be the Casey Middlestat for Bowen Byram swap that the Avalanche did earlier on today. So this was the first of 5 consecutive streams, and we'll be live even more moving into this evening and trade deadline on Friday. So thanks for joining me. Alex Wennberg to the Rangers for a second and a fourth. I think it's a win-win on both sides. The Rangers definitely getting what they needed and at affordable value as well. Let me know what you thought. Thank you for joining the breakdown, and we'll be back soon with another.